What do you mean not as cool? Yeah, you're pretty cool, Rusty. I took too long of a nap today. I ate like something heavy. It's like fried. They sell fried bananas here. They're so tasty. But they put you into like a food coma that you'll never wake up from. It's pretty scary. Hey! I learned a new trick. Whee! Whee! One phase. I saw this dude. He's like a banished, the banished knights. No, not the banished knights. The knight rider glaive with blood flame blade. Thought I'd do the same thing. But like Graves' Scythe has its own bleed scaling, so that plus blood flame will give more bleed. Yeah, it's pretty nuts. It's actually, it might actually be more fast than Comet Azure. I'm not sure. Maybe a bit slower than Comet Azure. But you don't need like 80 points in int just to pull it off. connection error. Are you gonna do it for a 1K special? I don't know, man. Am I actually gonna get 1K? Like, I think I had like 996 at some point, but it dropped down to 993. I'll just be doing the same old shit I've been doing this entire time. How about that? Face reveal? I already did that. How about if I do like an ankle reveal? I'll do like an ankle slip. Maybe a foot reveal. Maybe a foot reveal is too much. I'll do like partial foot reveal. Yeah, the host was attacking there too. We just one-phase that. But the host is scared. Just scaredy little scaredy cat. Motherfucker. Okay, good luck, host. Good luck, host. You got this. He's almost dead anyway. He's got this. He's totally got this. Good luck, Troxy. You know, this stream is called Helping Out Brave Tarnished. Nothing I saw there was brave. Let's go equip the this thing here. And we'll just swap this out for the gold scarab. Just so we can be like that nanobot. Like we can be like that nanobot that helps sperm get to the egg. Like it helps like the sperm that are like born without tails. It's like the little spiral shaped nanobot. That's why I feel like playing as a sun bro. Oh, it's Troxy again. At least we have another sun bro, so there's actually more damage. This guy's gonna get wrecked in the DLC. Yeah, you circle strafe him while he's not even attacking us. Yep, you keep doing that. Wow, look at that. Teamwork makes the dream work, isn't that amazing? Almost done. This is the last leg, I think. Should be the last. Pretty sure. Yeah, it is. Okay. So it's this, and then we'll just like look around for anything else to do. The inside of the mouth, for sure. Gotta do that. And I think that's it. That's basically it. Then we go do a retopo. It's retopo time? Not yet. Almost. Soon. Soon. By the way, Rusty, if you don't know what I mean about like when I say, oh, I feel like that nanobot that helps like malformed sperm get to the egg. I'll send the the video in off topic. That's what I mean. That's what I feel like when I help people out sometimes. Did I get summoned? I did get summoned. Shit, they're already fighting the boss. Or maybe not. I'm just like crouching there, okay. Heal host. No? No heal? Rip. Mohg! There are 41 members in the server, and only you here in the live stream. The other members are useless. Like, why are they even in the server if they don't want to watch my stream? That's so sad. Deadbeat members. Not pulling their weight. Wait, what? I got summoned again. Did I put down my sign? I don't remember that. Uh-oh. No. Awkward place to do this, but I guess it's fine. Weird how sometimes I can one-face this and other times I can't. Ow. Yay, this should be it, right? He looks like he's dead. Possibly. I'm gonna say yes. He's not moving. Well done, Locke. Maybe they're just sitting there silently, furiously masturbating to the renders. Probably what Saint's doing. there anything to listen to? Wait, there's some stuff I want to listen to. Asmon, oh wait, OnlyFans ruined an entire generation. Asmongold reacts. What is this? Did it really ruin an entire generation?
Oh boy.
OnlyFans has completely ruined an entire generation. Dog, when I tell you, nuclear bombs couldn't even do nearly as much damage as what OnlyFans did to our society. Where I knew OnlyFans was getting bad, when I seen people not even giving life a shot at the age of 18 and going straight to OnlyFans once the clock hit 12. If you thought that Reddit...
I think this guy's a bit younger than me. Because, like, for me, like, I see that, and it's really actually not a shock. Howard Stern had, like, a countdown timer for when, like, the Olsen twins were going to turn 18. This isn't anything that's new at all. This is just a new iteration. And by the way, back then, nobody had a problem with it. I mean, some people did, right? But he still did. Yeah, it was gross. It was, right? And as an adult, right?
TikTok, 4chan, and Twitter did damage. Just wait till you hear all the damage that OnlyFans has done in this
let's
video.
see it.
Now, for the first damage that I think OnlyFans has done to society is that it's normalized a lot of weird behavior. We live in a time where people get their back blown out in front of a camera for thousands of people to see, but it's somehow okay because they make a lot of money. That is not normal, and that is not something that we should normalize / celebrate. Look,
I don't think that you need to normalize or celebrate what somebody else does. I agree with that, but I also don't think that somebody should be prevented from doing it. Like, I don't think that it's a good idea.
You have no idea that I'll be
somebody
vocal
they can't
about
do
it.
that, as long as they're doing it towards adults, and adults are the audience.
Ah.
He's right, it's not normal. No, I don't really think it's normal either, but I don't think it needs to be celebrated. It's not like this is a great thing or anything like that, but you can do it. Sure, you can do it. This should be classified as porn, though. OnlyFans is porn. Who thinks it's not porn? What? There's people who think that? He's saying it's more accepted?
Lagging.
No, it's not. Like, I was at an appointment for my back, and I asked the doctor there, I was like, do you know what OnlyFans is? Because I was talking about, like, a friend of mine that did it, and, like, the fact that, like, she moved away because of taxes. Why? Well, it made sense in the context of the story. And he's like, no, I don't know what it is. He had no fucking idea. I think that a lot of people have no clue. Yeah, they have no idea. Like, I think that on the internet, it's very easy to think that, like, the whole world is there. But, yeah, he lied, by the way. You think
the whole world
lied?
is there.
Maybe you're right.
There's nothing that exists outside of the internet.
Understand that these OnlyFans girls be having Lambos, numerous penthouses, a few rollies, and more money than I could ever imagine. But at the same time, they also have zero dignity if they can proudly brag about how their cheeks are getting clapped online for $4.99 a month. Why are we flexing our cheeks getting obliterated online? I just don't think that is just weird to me. Another thing about OnlyFans is that it completely normalized adult films, aka porn. Like, I swear, back then, being an adult film star used to be one of the most frowned upon jobs ever. But OnlyFans has made...
Is that true? I mean, kind of. Like,
I feel like this guy is a prude.
Like, I'm trying to think about it.
I feel like he's a prude.
Nudity?
He would fit in well with the Puritans.
Money's money. Yeah, I think money is money, for sure. I think that also, like, is doing sex work really... Like, because you can make a lot of, like, moral decisions about, like, something, but, like, is it, like, logically worse than doing a number of other jobs where you're effectively using your body to do something? I don't know. I don't really think it's that much worse, personally. I don't think so. Like, running a casino, right? Like, I would say running or working at a casino is worse than doing sex work. Like, if you want to use, like, a moral argument, I think that it's worse.
It completely acceptable. Like, if somebody told you that they did OnlyFans, you genuinely wouldn't be surprised nowadays. But back then, that would have been...
I don't know. I feel like it's still surprising for a lot of people. I don't know, man. I feel like... See, here's another... This is, like, another example of, like, kind of how the internet philosophy is, like, really kind of been... It's been very normalized. And people think that the way people think on the internet is normal. That's not really true. Like, I see all the time girls that do OnlyFans and then, like, their parents kick them out or they don't want to talk to them anymore constantly. But what ends up happening is like this is kind of similar to the Nick Merckx thing, where being negative about sex workers is not good. Like in terms of like advertising and everything like that, like being like pro sex worker is like this is the thing that you're supposed to think. So you don't see other people who are saying the opposite because they don't want to get in trouble. They don't want to lose sponsors. They don't want to be seen as sexist, right? So if you had a completely open dialogue where you were able to listen to and hear what people think about sex workers, the truth is that you'd see a lot of people saying negative stuff about it. But the reality right now is that content creators don't say a lot of bad stuff about it because it's not culturally and financially advantageous.
Hoping you
Because
maybe
it gets
at everyone.
misconstrued into sexism.
Oh my god.
But that doesn't mean, just because people aren't speaking, doesn't mean that they aren't thinking. I think a lot of people think that it's bad. Wouldn't that be considered normalization? It is, but it's done in a way that's artificial.
One of the most shocking things to ever hear. Another weird behavior that OnlyFans has kind of normalized is spawn camping young women until they turn 18. For example, y'all remember when Danielle Bergoli started OnlyFans 1 week after she turned 18 and she made $1 million within just 6 hours of it?
I don't think this is anything new.
How's
I
that
think
bad?
This guy's younger. I don't think he
Like, they
remembers
get
how
to
much
have $1
degenerate,
million.
creepy,
That's
weird shit
amazing.
like this happened in the
I wish I
80s,
had $1
like,
million when I was
not
18.
80s,
What the
around
fuck?
In the 90s and the 2000s. Yeah, there was creepy shit like this constantly, and in my opinion, I think it was worse then. Because the difference is that the people, like back then, mainstream celebrities would sexualize underage girls extremely regularly. Now it happens, and these girls make the money from it, but it's not reinforced.
Policing? That means that there was some drone goats out there.
Your
Danielle was
Chanel. Oh, connection error.
for this young girl to turn 18, now they can see her naked legally. Like, the concept of that being legal is just absolutely strange to me. And
Well, how can that not be legal, right? It's creepy and weird, but like, how are you gonna make that illegal? It's just like this shit's been happening for a really, really, really long time. And I think the truth is that if you want to look at history, this is the way it's always been. So I don't think this is something new from OnlyFans at all. And I think actually, in fact, this is the best it's ever been. My mom said that, you know, like my mom came from Florida and, you know, genuine Florida cracker family. And they had a saying over there, get them young and raise them up right. And they're talking about wives. Yep.
whoever bought that OnlyFans once she turned 18 needs to be locked up ASAP.
I wonder if Florida is so fucked.
Like, I just find that insane because there's no way that the demographic of these people buy.
Personally, no. I know obviously like that's a popular opinion to have. I don't want to. I don't want my tax money going to put somebody in jail for buying something that's legal. Like it's just not. It's just not a good use of my tax money. I think. I would rather it be spent on like literally anything else, except for bombs.
Hey, Danielle Bergoli's OnlyFans, we're like, they were 18, 19, 20, 21. They had 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds, maybe even some 30-year-olds. And we know damn well.
Got a little bit of lag.
That bought this OnlyFans, they just randomly stumbled across Danielle Bergoli.
Oh my god, so much noise.
As a young girl, and it just
It's so noisy.
No fucking shit. Who? Fucking dog. Like, yeah. 100% that's what they want. Yeah.
Spawn kept her away until she made this OnlyFans. Now they just connect with legally and go ham on it. Like, that's crazy. That is absolutely insane. There's also numerous kids out there who have also made OnlyFans once they turned 18. And they made fans because these are so low. Like, it's one of the weirdest things ever.
Oh my god!
It's not weird. Like, it's literally the
I'm gonna close this. This is a stupid topic. Why am I even listening to it? Your mom married your dad when when she was 17. Isn't like the age of consent lower in Europe? That's fine, right? Although I have to admit, like 17 is a little bit young for marriage. But if it works out, I guess it works out. Like you have to like the whole reason why the age why there's a law that like you have to be 18, right? Is like biological first and foremost, and then like mentally as well. So yeah, 17 is cutting it pretty close. But I mean that's fine, right? Now like we know how you turned out, so yeah. Makes sense, I suppose. At least you guys didn't have the one child policy. I was born on the tail end of the one child only policy in China. Like my mom had to hide her pregnancy, otherwise I would have been aborted. Otherwise there'd be no Zeth. There'd be like long decomposed placenta Zeth. I can officially say I was hunted by the government when I was younger. I'm an illegal baby. Yeah, so if you're in China, you'd actually be okay because, well, your sister's a woman, right? So, like, if the one child policy only applies if, your first kid is like a boy or something. So if you have like another child, doesn't matter what sex they are, they get. If the CCP catches you. Yep. Chocho, what do you want? Oh, another cracker? Chocho wants a cracker? Here you go. Don't tell Mom. Don't tell Mom I'm feeding you human food. You think they need more boys for the army? Nah, they already have enough. They've got enough boys over in China. Have you heard like how bad it is in China right now? Like nobody can get like the guys over there. They have to have their wives imported. Like they're importing wives from like Russia and stuff. Enough of that. No, that was almost a one phase. My stamina, man. Oh, almost one phase, please. Please and thank you. Looks like it. Oh, I didn't have my Alexander shard on. That's why. This is cutting it close. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, they aborted like a shit ton of like baby girls during the one child only policy. Talk about humanitarian crisis. Oh, connection error. Right? Looks like it. Wonder why they had to make the fog gates like piss yellow in this game. Doesn't look like a fog gate anymore. It looks like a pea gate. Doesn't look as nice as the previous fog gates. Ah. Just walking through a curtain of piss. Every time I help someone fight Mohg, I have to walk through a curtain of piss. H&M. That's where I get my clothing. Oi. It's gonna hurt. Yay! Oh, I still have my golden scarab, that's why. That's why I got to second phase. Keep forgetting about the scarab. Good for runes, not good for damage. No more crackers, Jojo. No, you can't beg for crackers. No crackers. It'll make you fat. Are you a dog or are you a pig? Which one is it? Okay, that looks alright, I guess. It's like the transition from the body, like the sockets here. The sockets need work. Transition from the wings to the body. No, no more crackers. You can't have any more crackers, Chocho. Stop begging. It's not gonna work. Give me a sec. I need to go feed Chocho some kibble. I'm back. Oh, what a mess. What a visual mess to work with. Holy fuck, how do I even smoke in there? Oh, connection error. No. No more crackers. No. 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 And the hotkeys for like going up and down subdivisions. It's kind of scary. Alright, well. Just smooth some of this out. Just make everything flow a bit nicer. We need more polys in here. Save it and then freeze. How to add more poly. Start up here first. Start by making all the rectangles here into squares. This bit is kind of weird. I know I can do here. Okay. Go and do this. Quick and dirty method for adding more polygons. Just subdivide. Gotta be a better way to do this. This is a bit convoluted. Actually, there isn't a better way. Let's do this, I guess. Good job. Go take a nap or something. Whoa, what happened? What was that? I got summoned for Radon. Is that blue? Okay, let's go save it. Oh wait, there's some triangles down here. I gotta fix this as well. How to fix? Let's go and do this. Oh wait, what am I doing? Not ideal topology, but whatever. Okay, let's save it. Then we'll unfreeze. Cha-cha. What do you want? Cracker? I want a cracker. Oh. Perfect. Alright, looks good to me. Give me a sec. Food break. Let's save it first. Connection error. Let's find something to listen to. Hmm.
Dragon Age is an extremely bizarre franchise, like it truly is. You've got Origins, which is one thing, then Dragon Age 2 has a pretty damn different tone to Origins. Dragon Age Inquisition, again, different, very different to Origins. And then you've got the stuff on Netflix. You've got all of the extended universe Dragon Age that exists. And a lot of it's been quite different in tone. And that does mean that one of the greatest traditions of liking Dragon Age for its fan base has kind of struck once again. And that is the reveal of a new Dragon Age. And then everybody piling in from all sides to let everyone know what they think about it. And this time, it has definitely been more spiky than most, and there's a clear culprit. It's the trailer. You've seen the trailer, I've seen the trailer. It's a pretty awful trailer in my personal opinion. I think it absolutely blows, and for me, it basically says, don't play this game. Things will, though, get a little bit different as we look into all the detail. What can be said, and I think can be agreed on by absolutely everybody, is that the trailer was controversial. It led to a lot of comments. It led to a lot of articles, a lot of op-eds. PC Gamer, man, they really decided, this is not our sort of thing. And face value, I agree with them. Like, yeah, that totally looked like the trailer to a modern hero shooter to me. So, let's talk about it, right? The history, the reveal, the backlash, and of course, a bit of the recovery. The level of damage control that I think BioWare's people went into, it's almost admirable. Like, they realized this had blown up in their face, and very rapidly people were springing to action, and we've even had the likes of David Gator leaning in with some opinions. And this all very much includes the fact that this is not the first time that this has happened, even with a trailer for Dragon Age. I'm not talking about Inquisition, I'm not talking about 2. There is a Dragon Age Origins trailer that you're going to see later and is going to give you a chuckle. It very much failed the game that it was selling. Alright then, a bit of history. So, Dragon Age Dreadwolf has been re-revealed and renamed, right? It's now called Dragon Age The Veilguard. Everybody, I think, agrees that the at the very least, is really awkward. That said, if you remove the from it, you do end up with an abbreviation, Dave, which I think is kind of funny. But to recap, Dragon Age is an original IP role-playing game that BioWare first released in 2009 with the first entry, Dragon Age Origins. It was a PC and console-based real-time with pause combat CRPG, very much in the style of their previous outings, the likes of, say, Baldur's Gate and Neverwinter Nights. But of course, Electronic Arts get involved. You see, Dragon Age Origins did pretty well. Then, Dragon Age 2 was rushed into existence. They made Dragon Age 2 in under 18 months, right? And that was by 2011. So yes, within 2 calendar years, there was a new Dragon Age game out. Dragon Age 2 was pretty damn controversial, especially with the people who loved Origins. Some did like the more action RPG, oriented combat, and let's just say the constraints of having the one location and their they're absolutely ludicrous dev cycle, what EA allowed them. It did lead to some innovation, but most people would definitely say it's the black sheep of the franchise. But then you move into Dragon Age Inquisition, and all of this happens in an era of EA owning BioWare that is just absolute goddamn chaos. I mean, even with Dragon Age, Dragon Age existed in and around a time to sort of almost say, hey, we still do CRPGs, even though, yeah, obviously Mass Effect is turning into more of an action shooter. And this was an insane period for EA. I mean, they mandated that Mass Effect 3 came out basically 2 years and 2 months after Mass Effect 2. You know the way people had, let's just say feedback about the ending of that game? Well, it was pretty much done in a weekend because the entire thing was crunch. It was insane. But then we moved from Mass Effect 3 and the Unreal Engine to Frostbite. Frostbite, of course, damages Mass Effect Andromeda, it damages Dragon Age Inquisition, and it damages Anthem. So Inquisition launched in 2014, and with that game, the focus basically went to more of a third-person, big zone-based sort of open-world style, still an action RPG, and definitely with quite a lot of MMO DNA there. Now, it's a game that if you kind of play it in the right way, you can have a lot of fun. If you just stay in the hinterlands forever and try to be a completionist, there's a chance you'll be bored to tears. Now, it is a game that sold really well. It was actually the best-selling in the series. That all meant that a new Dragon Age was bound to happen, but of course, this was a time of absolute sheer hell and chaos. So, Dragon Age 4 started development, and thanks to a very long-form report in 2019, we know that this game was rebooted multiple times. At one point, it was actually a multiplayer title. I mean, come on, remember the multiplayer push? In fairness, the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer bit, it was actually kind of fun, and some mad bastard did actually spend 14 grand on its loot boxes. but still, this was an error that worried people, especially with Anthem. And in many ways, it was a casualty of BioWare and EA's gambles with Andromeda for Mass Effect, from BioWare's essentially B team, like a sort of a newer formed team, and then of course the Anthem team continually being failed by leadership who couldn't find the fun, even though they had a lot of cool tech and yeah, the robot suits look pretty sweet. So there's a lot of chaos there. Then we move to 2023. There are layoffs happening across EA, and with those layoffs, many of BioWare's long-term staff get fired, and that includes people who are like directly linked to some of like the absolute fan favorite characters in Dragon Age. That very much means that audiences have been primed to be skeptical with Dragon Age 4. It has had tumultuous development, multiple reboots, and really faith in the company pretty much collapsed. And so it's in that rather sticky position that we get to the reveal. So we had the name change, which I think was a bit confusing, and there was a confirmation, right, of full reveal with 15 minutes of gameplay happening June 11th. And that meant that everybody thought we'd be getting a cinematic trailer in either Summer Games Fest or Xbox or something like that. But okay, big focus on the characters, the companions, and that does make a hell of a lot of sense. What is the game that has absolutely exploded in the last year that is all about the companions? Obviously, the answer is Baldur's Gate 3. And do remember, an entire generation of players have grown up without the release of a Dragon Age game. There are people who were 10 years old when Dragon Age Inquisition came out who are now 20, and they are having this game be marketed at them, and they probably didn't play Inquisition when they were 10, which I know is a bit spooky and distressing, but time is time, it is what it is. Though the thing is, for that younger audience, what sort of marketing are they used to? And I suppose for a D&D adjacent, well in this case literally a D&D example, I'm certainly thinking of the marketing of the D&D movie, which is a movie that seemingly landed pretty well with its target audience. Maybe that was a bit of an inspiration for this one, and of course, it's still a BioWare game. Now, BioWare games are not known for their combat, right? What they're known for is world building and companions. So, reveal trailer
so much lag.
In light
Can't even
of
see
marketing
Mohg.
trends with younger audiences and Baldur's Gate 3, you can see how a
Fuck you, Mohg.
But of course, you then have it was a rundown brief one on something cool actually, showing graphic world while they get a big flashing name card, just so that 100% you know who that character is. And the thing is, will the audience, like, we try to find the people who actually basically seems that all of those things worked, and all kind of just performing fan art of those characters, which does make a lot of sense. The whole thing was narrated by Varric and Scout Harding. They are both, like, they are characters that have been sort of fan favorite characters, and that means that for the truly engaged audience who spent a lot of time with them, especially through the spin-off media, like the comics, the Netflix anime, novels, that sort of thing, they'll like that. But then to some other people who'd like, okay, I'm hearing these voices that I recognize, but why does everything look like a hero shooter to me? That led to people not being comfortable with this and a general audience revolt, basically hating the stylization of the characters compared to the perhaps realistic, they thought, or remembered models from previous games. Of course, you have a rather over-the-top Bowie anthem. Now, hey, I love some David Bowie, but yeah, I thought it was absolutely shit for this. I thought it was terrible. I thought it blew. The name cards, again, they look like they're a Fortnite thing or an Overwatch thing. And just look at the thumbnail. It's garish and, blah. I mean, it looks like the sort of thumbnail that a YouTuber does to catch your attention, but not really something that says, hey, here's the next entry in your dark fantasy RPG. So really, for a lot of people, this was the proof that they needed, right? That all of the things that could go wrong.
Yeah, the thumbnail is so
went
fucking
wrong,
bad.
and the tone has doomed the game. But that's actually not the first time this sort of thing has happened. I'm going to take you 15 years back in time. So yes, we're now back in time. Welcome to 15 years ago. And we have this. And I'm just going to play a little bit of it for you.
Oh my god, it's so fucking loud. Holy shit. Jesus Christ.
They made for Dragon Age Origins. It almost reminds me of like the almost dubstep stuff they put in the Warcraft movie, where you're like, excuse me, what are you doing? This is insane. And this is where I'm going to bring in David Gator. David Gator was the lead writer in this franchise. He basically created the setting, and responding to this, so somebody basically posted this saying, this is one of the screenshots they released. It looks awesome. what's the disparity between this screenshot and the like reveal trailer that we just saw? It looks like two different games. So David Gator responded to that, calling out another really bad trailer. He said that's always the case. Dragon Age Origins' first trailer, first couple actually, were made by Blur and couldn't have been further from what the game was actually like. And when you actually, again, look at this trailer, I mean, it is bad, guys. It's bad, and it definitely is not Dragon Age Origins. But that's basically the thing. It's the year 2009. Killzone, Arkham Asylum, Infamous. This is an era where mature meant things needed to be dark, things needed to be edgy. Whenever our characters were in a fight and then had a conversation later, they would just statically have a blood decal all over them. It was
Don't just stop begging for food, you fat
and of course
ass.
a little bit of the old dry humping when it came to the mature adult scenes. Something that's always been, I mean, kind of hilarious in the Dragon Age series. But the thing with Origins is, it still was campy at times. It had this long-running, sort of nonsensical gag.
Enchantment! And there you have it. Enchantment!
So, marketing can't target everybody, and it's incredibly easy to get marketing wrong. And here, all of the stars aligned, they just happen to align in the wrong direction. That's the thing. Gameplay is ultimately what most of us care about. I mean, yeah, some CG trailer, who really cares? What we care about, like, does it play well? Are the characters well written? Is the setting interesting? Like, that's what we give a shit about. The thing is, though, trailers are important for tone and hype. So the tone information that a trailer gives you is going to influence what you expect from the world, the writing, the characters, and all of that stuff. And that is why this trailer was, I think, one of the most calamitous failures. So the trailer's a disaster, but a trailer is not a game. BioWare know what the game is, and they're basically left thinking, right, what the hell do we do with this? This is a little bit of a disaster, because this is the game that is going to save our company's public image, because again, Mass Effect Andromeda, Anthem, you all know what's up, right? Now, of course, you can't spin up an entire new brand identity within 24 hours. But they really did their best. They began to flood the internet with actual screenshots, gameplay, and feedback, and, I mean, it's not like those were just created from nothing. Evidently, people had these assets ready, knowing that they looked pretty good. And who knows, maybe even within BioWare, there's people in that team who knew the trailer would be a bit of a problem, and they kind of did ready themselves. That's obviously hard to know. What is clear, though, is that BioWare took this stuff very seriously. So, I'm now going to talk about what we can tentatively call the recovery, but I'm not saying that with the presumption that you think it is recovered, because there is still a lot of angst and a lack of trust out there. I'm not trying to speak for you. It's just like the clear campaign from BioWare to try and recover the image and to sort of communicate what this game actually is to players. So almost immediately, they relaxed a non-disclosure agreement that they had with the Community Council, which is basically creatives and fans who have been advising them and giving feedback throughout the game's development. Those people immediately began answering questions from people. Then they also started to loosen restrictions on press being able to talk about their gameplay experiences at Summer Games Fest. So that did mean more good information got out there, but I mean, come on, whenever it's a bunch of people who are at an expo and then start saying all the positive things about something, you do think of the nerd crew from Red Letter Media, right? Like, you do kind of think about that. But what they then did is they doubled down. They started releasing screenshots to highlight that that cinematic is not the style of the game world. Because again, if words aren't going to help, then, well, maybe pictures would. And when we look through these screenshots, they look way better. These environments, they look big, they look gorgeous. And one of the interesting things they revealed is actually, no, these are in-game screenshots. There were some things they showed off, and I just kind of assumed that that was like a visual target or a mock-up. But no, it was actually the game in engine, and that is pretty damn impressive. Which itself is a funny thing, because this is a game being made in the Frostbite engine. Frostbite has caused so many problems. I mean, yes, especially for the Dragon Age franchise, thinking about Inquisition and the crazy things that heroic dev team had to do. Because seriously, it's a miracle Inquisition even came out, given the technical problems they all faced. But it has been a lot of time. A lot of work has went into that engine, and they have built a lot of tools. So it actually seems like they may be able to get the benefits of the Frostbite engine. Finally. But you know what? Static images don't really tell you how something's going to play. You need moving images for that. And 24 hours before they were going to do a proper reveal, they just actually went and showed off 24 seconds of gameplay. Of course, Varric's there. You can see what it looks like. You can see characters wandering around, and it's a pretty damn visually rich scene. Again, subjective, right? It's in the eye of the beholder, but I think we can certainly say that's very high effort, very rich, very detailed, big-ass world. But again, it's not combat. They then did show off the combat, and I will get into that. But so, we're here in an interesting sort of state, because they also actually recut footage to have an extra 5 minutes over the originally planned 15 in their gameplay trailer, so I've got to imagine they just thought, oh shit, we need to give them more gameplay. They're really not buying this, we need more. If Veilguard, I'm dropping I'm just calling it Dave now. If Dave is not the cinematic trailer, then just what the hell is Dave? Based on everything that I can sort of see and put together. This is Dragon Age Inquisition in style, but it's not on the Xbox 360. I mean, look at the difference in thumbnails, right? Like this one, it's Varric, and he looks pretty dour, which is pretty much what you're going to want from this franchise. And certainly the gameplay reveal has helped. So the gameplay trailer has eclipsed the reveal trailer, 1.8 million after 2 days, compared to 1.7 million in 17 hours as of the time of this being written. It will be different as of the time of this going to you. But basically the gameplay trailer has thoroughly trounced the reveal, which is good. It's far better, and definitionally it should be a lot more representative of what the actual game is. And this has actually led to some better reactions. Some are seeing the more input-focused combat, and they may be thinking about Final Fantasy XVI, but it turns out actually the tactical pause for abilities is still there. So it's absolutely not Dragon Age Origins in any way, shape, or form. And it's not Inquisition. It is definitely far more close to like a modern action story-driven role-playing game. So the question then is that something that you would actually like? A lot of people are saying that, you know, it was inevitable. It was always going to turn into Mass Effect. And I understand why that is a strong criticism in light of what many people loved about Origins. I will certainly say, I really like Mass Effect, right? Like, especially Mass Effect 2. And while the gameplay doesn't look like some sort of amazing character action game that's absolutely going to blow minds, it does actually look to me to be potentially quite reasonably good. Obviously, I need to get my hands on it, but if you're telling me I am getting a fantasy setting, if the characters end up being well written, which is obviously one of the most important things here that we cannot tell, but if I get that, it's story-driven, pretty good combat, decent progression, that could end up being quite a solid gameplay experience. The thing that actually caught my interest the most, though, is that this is far less of an open world game. It is mission-based. Now, there are like side objectives and parts of that mission-based structure that, you know, can be a little bit more branching out, but very much you have your home base, and then the game is mission-based with sometimes larger, sometimes less large locations, which to me does seem, well, I mean, I don't want a pseudo-MMO at all, so this seems way better. Better, but it's not Origins, and we got to talk about that. Why is BioWare not making a sequel to Dragon Age Origins that really does just fulfill the potential of Dragon Age Origins, the CRPG? Origins was great, but it did have its flaws. It was rough around the edges, and, you know, it was a game of its
because
era,
Claudia
BioWare,
Black
probably
is...
with a lot of BioWare magic, allowing it to
she's
come
like a
together
grandma now.
at the end. The thing is that now people have seen pretty much...
We'll never get our Morrigan back unless we find a voice actor that sounds like her.
Excuse me, Planescape Torment, but Baldur's Gate 3 is amazing. So why aren't they doing that? Why are they making Dragon Age Mass Effect? I mean, there's literally market proof that CRPGs do well today. But obviously we only know that now, and this game was greenlit a long time ago. So thinking about the greenlighting process and the sorts of discussions that would have went on, well, guess what? Inquisition sold more than Origins. You could definitely say it's more accessible and approachable, so that's probably why they went in that direction. And also, BioWare have not made a traditional CRPG in 15 years. They don't have it anymore. Like, the things you need to make one of them, they don't have. The technology, the tools, all of their stuff, everything in their company, those assets, like their, you know, their tools, stuff in engine, it's all been to make games like Inquisition or like Mass Effect. So that probably means if they went to do a CRPG, you're going to be looking at a little bit more technological and design risk, because the expertise has very much left BioWare, and a lot of that has made its way to Larian. So while winding back the clock, maybe changing the Electronic Arts acquisition and how a lot of things went, while that would be awesome, and look, I wish that we got a Mass Effect 3 that was in development for 4 years instead of 2, right? Or 3 years instead of 2, where the team could really be just, you know, fully realize all of their ambition and the things that they wanted to do. Like, I wish we could change those things, but we can't, and we're here now. They don't have the expertise, I believe, to make CRPGs in the way that they did in the past. There are teams currently making fantastic CRPGs. Owlcat Games, Larian, and there's other ones. And if you kind of have rediscovered the CRPG via Larian, well, there are so many other games out there, Planescape Torment, Pillars of Eternity, Wasteland, and all the other stuff that Larian has done, Divinity Original Sin, Divinity 2. There is a hell of a lot of good content out there. Also some stuff in the 40k verse as well. So where I hit this is basically, if they do Dragon Age Mass Effect, I could very much be down with that, provided the writing and the world building is good. That is the thing that ultimately matters for me. The combat looks, at the very least, serviceable plus to me. If it ends up being fun, then that's fantastic. I don't think the playability of action combat is necessarily a bad thing. I mean, look, action combat's really fun. Again, has to be good. You have to play it, and we haven't played it yet. At the very least, if we go to some of the people from Larian, there does seem to be quite a lot of excitement there. Cromwell calling out that the gameplay trailer looked cool, and I certainly think he's right. The gameplay trailer, for me, was far more successful than the awful initial one. The good news, though, everybody, is we do not have long to wait here. Autumn 2024 is when this game will come out. And because it's like a, you know, it's a narrative game, it's a single-player story game, or RPG, you do not need to pre-order it. In no way, shape, or form do you need to pre-order it. In fact, I think if you're interested in this at all, say, okay, if it's good, I'll play it over the Christmas holidays. Because then you'll probably get the game 30% off, and you'll probably get it after loads of bug fixes and optimization passes, so it'll run better in your hardware, and you'll literally just have better time for less money. Does seem like the way to do it. So that's it. That's the Chronicle of Dragon Age, the Veilguard. I mean, Dreadwolf seems metal. When I hear Dreadwolf, I'm like, metal, I don't know, gamma ray, beer, things that appeal to me. Like the Veilguard, I don't know. Like, I think the bad bits of World of Warcraft. Anyway, take care, let me know how you think about all this.
Okay, I think he's dead. Well done. Well, I'm gonna take a short break here. I might be on later. I'll probably get more done off stream. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye. Take care.